Hello everyone, just a quick overview on how to use GeoGebra for our geometry unit. First thing I would like you to do, make sure you are at geogebra.org up here in the address bar, and then to get to the geometry part of GeoGebra, you're going to go down here and click geometry, and then it will load up. Alternatively, you could just type in the word geometry after the backslash and it will show up for you. Here you can see we have a blank page right here where our work will be, and over here we have our tools to do the work. Since we're working on coordinate grids, I'm going to make sure we can see that. So if you slide over here to the cog where it says settings, click on that, and let's have it show our axes. So you can see the X and the Y. I would also like to have a grid so I could see the coordinates more clearly. So over here, click Settings and click Show Grid. And we just want the major grid lines. That'll give us a nice unit. Down here, you can zoom in and zoom out on your grid. When you zoom out, you do get a scaled axis. So I like just having a 1 unit scale down here. And there we go. There's our coordinate grid. So for this activity, we need to make a polygon or a shape. So here is the polygon tool. So I'm going to click on this polygon, and down here it's going to tell me what to do. Select all vertices, then first vertex again when your shape is complete. For your assignment today, you are to make a right angle triangle. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's put it up here. So there's A, you can see it labels the points automatically, and there's B, and let's make C down here, and so now I want to end the shape. And there is my right angle triangle ABC. So I'm going to go back over here to click on Move, because I do want to add something here. I like that it has given me my letter names for each vertice, but it hasn't provided the coordinates. So to have those show up, I'm going to right click on each, well first, sorry, I'm going to select the vertice, then I'm going to right click and go to Settings. And you can see here it says Show Label Name, and we're going to change that. Click the down arrow to Name and Value, and then up here's this X. And you can see now here's the coordinate for that one. So we're going to do the same thing for all of these. You can also click here instead of doing a right click, Settings, Name and Value, and X, and C. Same thing here, click 3 dots, Settings, and Name and Value. And there we go. There we have all of them. Okay, so the polygon is complete. One other thing that would be very useful to do now before we do any transformations is just to label where our origin is. So we'll go back over here to our tools. We're going to put in a point, and we're going to put it here, and it should label it D since it's our next point. We're going to come back and use that later, but it will be very handy to have a point right on the origin for us to use when we're doing some transformations. Okay, so quadrant 1, right angle triangle. Over here, more. So these are basic tools. When we click more, we get some more things to do. So we can do some editing, some deleting, construction of lines, which we are not doing yet. We're not doing any measurement today either, but here we are more into the geometry thing. So here's our polygon, and here are some transformation tools that we are going to use. So the first thing that you were supposed to do is do some reflecting. So you can see we have a tool here, Reflect About Line. So you could draw your line, but today we're just doing reflection through the axes. So let's click and see how we're going to do that. So click on that, Reflect About the Line, select the object to reflect, then the line of reflection. So we haven't drawn any lines, so we're going to use lines that are already here, the axes. But you could draw a line first and then use that as a reflection line. And if you have time at the end of the activity, you could play around with that. So first thing it said to do was select the object. So I want this triangle, because that's what I want to reflect. And then it said to reflect the line of reflection. So I could choose the y-axis or the x-axis, since that's what we're using. So I've selected that. Let's try the x-axis. And there you can see my reflection. And it's really nice that the coordinates come up for me already. So that should be helpful. So that's reflecting through a line. So you could do the same thing reflecting through the y-axis, and you know that it will be over there. The other activity that you are to do is a rotation. So let's click on rotation. Rotate about a point. Select the object to rotate and the center point, then enter the angle. So select the object to rotate, which is this. And I want it to rotate about the origin, which is why we put D there. So I'm going to click that as my rotation point. And then now it's asking me how much to rotate it and which direction. So let's do 270 degrees. And let's do that clockwise. And click OK, and we'll watch it rotate. So there is our 270-degree rotation clockwise from this shape, from the original shape. And the coordinates are